I am death, and hell follows. Alright, that last part was a joke. Although I must say, the description I am given in the Book of Revelation is quite interesting. But I'm not here to talk about myself. Let me tell you an interesting anecdote of mine. There was this bunch of fools who have been eluding me for a long time, and they have been quite good at that. They jumped through several timelines and survived everything I threw to them, going as far as throwing away their humanity just to try to escape me. You know, my job can get quite tedious at times, so finding these guys proved to be interesting and a good way to stave off boredom. But even that was getting old, and it was high time I finally collected their souls. Or perhaps it wasn't yet? In any case, I have finally managed to corner them. Some ruins in Greece in a temple dedicated to me. They knew they couldn't run any longer, so they decided to wait for me in that place for a final confrontation. There was this boy with black hair, his eyes a peculiar mix of a black iris and a silver pupil. In both ears he wore hearing aids, as the decay that comes to ghouls, and yes, he was a ghoul, had happened to deteriorate his hearing. He wore a black and green jacket that had a Z logo on the left side. Next to him was a red-haired girl with pale skin and blood-red eyes. In one hand she had a blood bag from where she drank, in the other a monitor-like device that she used to check her own blood, for before turning she had the bell of cancer, and drinking the wrong type could make her suffering worse. Her jacket was red and black and had the same Z logo as the ghoul on her right side. On a broken statue, surrounded by several ice shards, sat a girl with blue hair. She wore a light blue, snowflake patterned kimono fastened with a white obi on which she had her Z logo, clearly a Yuki-onna. Her icy gray eyes were looking right at me as I approached them. One of them, a female werewolf, wearing a jacket similar to the first two guys, jumped at me and snatched the scythe from my hands. And then I saw the kimono-clad girl wrap the other's hands in ice so the werewolf wasn't affected. Needless to say, I was amused. At least I knew if someone else than me held that scythe with their bare hands, they would not get away unharmed. The last one to join was a female kitsune. She launched several knives tied with talismans at me. Not gonna lie, they made me feel a slight tingle. Then the others came at me. They had indeed gotten quite good at fighting, and had it been another person, they have brought them to their knees. But since it was me, of course nothing worked. "You sure are a persistent bunch," I said, "but it seems you keep ignoring an important fact. No one escapes me." As I snapped my fingers, the scythe escaped from the werewolf's hands, and with a single slash I inflicted a fatal wound on all of them. And just to further drive the point home, I showed them another surprise. The souls of all of their other friends, trapped inside one of my orbs, screaming to get released. Oh, if you only saw the shock in their faces. Do you recognize these, Team Xena? These are your other friends. Normally I would say it is high time you join them, due to your peculiar circumstances. I mean, you, Chris, thought you could escape death by turning yourself into a ghoul, but it seems it hasn't done any favors to your asthma nor your hearing impairment. You, Ruth, thought that through vampirism you could escape your cancer, but it has only worsened your suffering. Maya, you thought that becoming a werewolf would get you to talk again and improve your mind, but not only it didn't give you your voice back, now everyone sees you as a monster. And of course, that only worsened your mental health. You have achieved great ice controlling powers by becoming a Yuki-onna, but it still did not repair your fragile heart. And you, Kiryu, were just as naive as the others by thinking that by becoming a kitsune, your insomnia problems will get solved. If you guys hadn't resisted so much, I would have long ago released you from your suffering. But of course, you just insisted on doing everything to cling to life and postpone the inevitable. I saw the fear in their eyes, the exact moment in which hope turned into despair, and how much they struggled to keep their bravado despite it all. But you know, I continued, now that I think of it, just because of that it will be a total waste to just take your souls right now. Let's do a deal. Then I pulled a necklace and dangled it in front of them and continued. In this necklace you can store souls, but I only have one of these at the moment, and I don't feel like making another. Only one of you can wear it. The rest will have to live in it and maybe use the body of the wearer for whatever you want. The faces of the five fools stare at me with interest. But I'm feeling generous, so let's do something else. How about I fuse your DNAs, grabbing the best of each one of you, discarding the worst, and making a brand new body that all five of you can inhabit? Oh, if you saw their delightment. They were about to say yes when I interrupted them. But there's also a catch here, and another part for bargain. I suppose you want the souls of your friends as well, don't you? Then do something for me. You see, collecting souls can be quite a tedious job, and I have done lots of things just to stave off my boredom. I have taken holidays, accepted challenges of people in games of chess, once served a vampire lord, have given people my powers. A favorite of mine was when I made a notebook that could kill anyone whose name got written of it. Oh well, and now I want to see what you can do to entertain me with your new chance at life. Keep me entertained long enough, and I will give you back the souls of your friends one by one. Free them all, and I won't bother you anymore until you have grown old. But if you fail to, I will make sure to claim your souls before you know it. So, what say you? Do we have a deal? The five friends talked to each other. They had jumped timelines to escape from me. They survived many curses and were on their last line of life. They had no choice, and in the end, they all agreed to take the deal. Chris walked towards me and wore the necklace. The bodies of the other four expired as their souls got transferred into it, and Chris's body transformed into a creature that was an amalgamation of all five. As a gesture of goodwill, I released one of their friends to have her added to the necklace. See, I'm not so bad after all. After that, they returned to their own dimension, not without me giving them a friendly reminder. Remember, pour me and it's off with your hat. Now, I wonder what they have come up with to entertain me. Streaming? Yes, I heard that's all the rage with young mortals nowadays. Let's see how they're doing.